Thank you for coming out to help us get information out to the public about where we stand with the water challenges, and also we want to also talk about what's going to be happening over the next few days within this city and county. And so I have the privilege of presenting the chairman of the Water and Sewer Board, Roderick West. He's going to come forward and present the members of the board. Following Mr. West, Mr. Robert Bridge is the superintendent of the water treatment plant and distribution system for the water board. He's going to come forward and give you the specifics on what has transpired, why we had to do the boil water notification, what caused that, and where we are as it relates to the repairs. Following him, we would have Ms. LaShawn Simpson, who will be sharing with the public where they can come get water, those who are eligible. She will be sharing that information with you. And then following her, Ms. Toya Stiles-Crusoe, the director of the Dallas County Emergency Management Administration, will be talking about what we're looking at over the next few days because things look a little challenging for us. So at this time, Chairman West is going to come forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent. Good evening, press media. I am Chairman Rod West, Chairman of the City Water Board. We have with us Vice Chairman Ware. We have Director Thomas, Director Evans, and we have Director Allen, who's probably our chairman in right now. So right now we'll have Robert Bridges to give you the update on the leaks and the current water condition, please.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon. First off, I want to say to my distribution department, the ones that are out there working with me on this, Cleophas Madison, Marco Mosley, Dwight Sharp, James Dunning, Anthony Craig, Christopher Tice, and Dee back there, smiling. What we had was two main water breaks, and a lot of it was due to the 5 inches of rain we had the day before, continuing into that morning. We spent a lot of time trying to look for those. Finally found them, but in a matter of 12 hours, the Selma Water Works lost about 3 million gallons of water. So once tanks level drop, then it's a requirement to do a boil water notice to prevent anybody from getting sick from any contaminated water. The water is not contaminated. We're not saying it is, but it's just a safety precaution. That's what the Alabama Department of Environmental Management requires. Now, what we've done, we've got the leaks repaired. Water is going back into the tanks at a slow and steady rate. We've already collected the required bacteriological samples today, and hopefully we will get positive, good results from those tomorrow. And at that point, possibly lift the boil water notice. And at that point, everybody can go back to normal. But the area that's affected is basically from the Comfort Inn on Highland Avenue on the very east side of town, which encompasses Highland Avenue, all the way out to Highway 219 and down 219. All of the side roads off of 219 are affected. All over road is not, Dallas Avenue is not. The water system stops right there. Morris Ferry Road, one side of it is not affected, the west side of it is. Everything north of Highland Avenue, every street north of Highland Avenue is affected by it. So we want everybody to make sure, until we get these results back, if you don't consume your water, make sure you boil your water. If you're taking a shower, bath, watering dog, it's safe for all of that. It's only for human consumption. So if you're going to intend on drinking any, make sure you boil it first. And that's if you use making tea, lemonade, whatever. You boil it before you put it in there. So, and that's all I have.
Good afternoon. Bottled water is available for citizens who were affected by the leaks on yesterday. You may pick up cases of water at the Selma Convention Center located at 211 Washington Street between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Again, we ask that only those citizens who were affected pick up water to ensure that there is water available for citizens who are in need. If you are unsure if you live in the concerned areas, please feel free to call customer service at Selma Waterworks Administration Office at 334-431-7600, or you may call my direct line at 334-431-7572.
At this time, before Ms. Stiles-Crusoe come forward from EMA, I wanted to give you, the media, an opportunity to ask questions about this water situation that we are currently faced with. So if you have any questions, this will be the opportunity.
Why boil the water? What does the boiling do as opposed to, you know, even if you're doing coffee or tea and you would go through the boiling process anyway?
Well, on coffee's fine. What you're doing is you're boiling that water, and boiling kills all bacteria in the water. So right now, basically the way the water system operates is we add chlorine for disinfection, okay? And that takes care of the bacteria in the water. That's the reason we're required to take bacteriological samples. However, boiling kills all bacteria if there is any in there. So if you're making tea, a lot of people boil the water with the tea bags in it, but they add water after. If you see what I'm saying. So you want to make sure you take care of that water that's added after that's been added to whatever picture you do. Just like lemonade, same thing. You don't want to use it right out the tap right now until we're absolutely certain that the water's safe. So that's the reason for boiling. Anything that gets your question?
Yes, sir. Just wondering. I've had people ask me about that, and I didn't know the full answer.
Boiling water kills all bacteria.
And why doesn't it affect you when you use it to shower or bathe with? Why you're not concerned about that?
Because the bacteria is only internal consumption. It's not going to hurt you externally. Because most everybody's going to use an antibacterial soap. But if you don't, it's still not. It does not get into your system.
How do people determine whether or not their water is at the appropriate pressure level, or how will they know that it's low pressure? Is the color of the water going to be an indication?
No, so the color of water won't be an indication. People, a lot of people are. Everybody can tell you they about know what their water pressure is in their house, and they'll notice if there's 10 to 15 pounds difference because they don't have as much pressure. There were some parts of the water system up there that we had to completely cut off until we got everything fixed and they could turn it back on. So, yes, sir. A lot of people just know how much water pressure comes out of the faucet.
And just for clarification, you said that the cause of it was basically from excessive rain.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I've been here 21 years. And I've never seen 5 inches of rain in a while. And 5.38. So that's a lot of rain. And what happens with that is the soil, the ground basically, if it doesn't run off, absorb it. And in areas where you got sandy soil, it basically floods that sand and allows stuff to move. And the ground moves all the time. If you notice how the prairie soil, when it cracks during summertime, you don't have that in wintertime. And that's one of the reasons we have a lot of leaks. Is prairie soil will shift, and then that creates pressure on the water. But the one was from that, and the other one was due to saturation in the sandy area.
And so we're expecting severe weather on Friday. We're also going to be expecting some freezing temperatures next week. Are you concerned that this could possibly be another reoccurring issue in the future?
Yes, ma'am. It's always in the back of my mind. But however, we hope and pray that we don't have those conditions like we had last year, because that was not only devastating to the city of Selma, the citizens of Selma, water customers. But it was a major impact on the entire city, whether it be water, public works, gas company, whoever. The freeze and the tornado, that was pretty devastating for the water.
If you think about, it was December of 2022 when we had that extreme freeze, and we literally almost lost our water system then. And then right on the heels of that, January 12th of 23, the tornado, we took a pretty good lick. But we've been resilient, and we've continued to stand up and do what is necessary to make community work. My hat's off to the water board for providing the support needed, the finances needed to make sure that we had the resources needed to get this work done. And my hat's off to the guys. I was out last night with Robert. Folks, it's a different kind of person that's down in a 3 to 5 foot deep hole, standing in water, digging out pipe to repair pipe. And that's what those guys did up to 12 o'clock last night to restore this system. And so my hat's off to them. I really celebrate the work that they did to get our system back up so that we could actually begin to refill those tanks. If you don't have any other questions, yes.
Talk about the price tag to actually fix this problem.
We haven't quite measured that yet, Bill. We haven't gotten that far because we're not quite out of the woods yet. There's still some additional things that need to be done, but that's a good question. Any other questions?
Will there be a press release that's going to be forwarded after the press conference, something written or not?
We will do an update as additional information becomes available. But we didn't stop to try to get something written this time. We really needed to move swiftly because we wanted to get information out to the public about the accessibility for the water. And so we really are moving kind of swift on this, and what you all are doing is really helping us. At this time, I'm going to ask the Dallas County EMA Director, Toya Stiles-Crusoe, to come forward and just share what the anticipated or the potential weather conditions will be leading up throughout this weekend and early part of next week, and what kind of preparations we're making for that. Toya.
Appreciate you.
Good afternoon. Severe weather is expected here Friday, January the 12th, which is the anniversary date of the January 12th, 23 tornado. Threats include damaging winds up to 70 miles per hour, quarter-size hail, and tornadoes. Citizens are encouraged to be vigilant and have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Dallas County has an app that you can download. Type in Dallas County Emergency Management Agency, as well as a mass notification system, which is called Regroup. You can receive alerts via email, text, or phone call. All of our community storm shelters will be open prior to Friday. And in the event that we are impacted by the storms Friday, you can report all damages to Dallas County EMA at 334-874-2515. Thank you.
Do you have any questions? It seems as though we don't get a break, folks. But again, I just applaud the work that's being done on the ground to help Selma, Dallas County be resilient and to recover from the challenges that we have. And these folks out here right now that are handling the distribution of this water, folks, we just stood this up in the last 24 hours to get water available to our citizens. And so these are not small accomplishments. This is major work that's taking place. And so all of those agencies and organizations that have been making contributions and support for us, and we do anticipate additional support coming. We want to thank him. And we also, I just, as Mayor of Selma, I want to acknowledge Mayor Hinton down in Marion and what Perry County and Marion has been going through. We're not alone in this, and they're not alone in this. We work together in being supportive of each other, and so just wanted to make sure that is mentioned as well.
Hey, man, want to plug the partners that actually supplied you guys with the water? Who partnered with you guys to actually get the water?
Yes, I'm going to ask Toya, you want to do that?
I called around to several agencies and organizations within the county. So we did receive 10 pallets of water from the Selma Area Food Bank, as well as FEMA, if I'm not mistaken. And if any more water is needed, the mayor know how to contact my office, and I can make another request to make sure we have more water to provide to the citizens.
Also, we want to remind people that this water that's available right now, this water is for individuals or for people who have been impacted by this water leak. And again, what Robert had indicated is north of Highland. It's north of Highland. It's over to 219 and on the west side, and all the way over to the bypass on the east side. That's basically what you're looking at. And everything north of that, that's where the impact is. There are 2 tanks that supply water in those areas. Those tanks drop down to 12 and 9% load. That's way lower than we allow our tanks to drop before we call for a boil water requirement. And so that's why all of this is happening. Again, it is false rumor to state or to say that the water is contaminated. That is not the case. We are following federal and state guidelines that says that we need to ensure that it is not contaminated. And that's what this is about. If the water is contaminated, we will report that. If it's not, we will report that. And so we just ask people, don't exaggerate about the situation, but just know that we are being diligent and we are doing everything that is required by law and going beyond.
So how long will it be before you get the results of the tests, and what kind of a timeline are you looking at?
We don't control that. The water samples were collected today, and I think we actually doubled the required number that we were required to. And those samples have been sent to a lab. We have requested with the lab that they would expedite the test and let us know as soon as possible, but we don't control that, and I'm certain the lab is not going to do something that's going to affect the integrity of the test. So we just have to wait for them.
So typically, a day, a week?
24, 48 hours, typically. Anything else? Thank you all so very much for helping us to get this information out, and as additional information becomes available, we would ask that you keep your lines high, because we'll be calling. Again, thank you all so very much, and thank you, team, for the work that you're doing. Thank you, everybody. All right.